Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Brave Kids Art Club. My name is Brad and I am so pumped that you guys decided to draw with me today. Thank you. And also, we have a really fun animal to draw. It's got a huge personality and we're gonna have a good time. And if you didn't notice already, we now have Brave Kids Art Club t-shirts that are now available in our shop. Now they're not just adult sizes, they're kid sizes as well. So if you go check it out at braveoutpost.com, you'll be able to see our new tees with our Billy the Bear mascot on it. They're so much fun, and yeah, go check that out. All right, so here's some hints for today's animal. This animal is often mistaken for a monkey. They use tools, and we've actually sent one of these animals to space. Did you guess what it is? You got it. We are drawing a chimpanzee today. So let's go make sure we have everything that we need to get started. Okay, so before we get started, make sure you have a nice clean sheet of paper. We need a sharpened pencil with an eraser handy because we're gonna do some erasing of our original sketch. Because on top of our sketch, we're gonna be using a dark pen or a marker to go ahead and make our final outlines, and then we'll use that eraser to get rid of the undersketch. And then at the very end, we are gonna do some coloring, which is gonna be a whole lot of fun. So let's jump right into our sketch. So when I think of chimpanzees, I think of them playing around a lot and having fun. So I want to have my chimp hanging from a tree, which I think would be kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the head and try to map out where this body is going to be because I want to make sure I have enough room for the legs and the arm and the tree branch, all that fun stuff. So we'll take a little bit of work up front with our sketches, but that's why we do sketching. Okay, so I'm going to draw a circle here first. Let's do that first. Draw a circle right about here on our page. And let's draw kind of like an oval shape right about here at an angle. We'll draw like an oval, like an egg shape. Oh, and if I slip and accidentally say monkey, that's my bad. These are actually apes, not monkeys at all. All right, so our ape, we're gonna draw their body right here as this little egg shape. Then we got the head, the body. Let's draw kind of a upside down U shape right over here, right on this end. For the legs, let's kind of do it like this shape. And it can overlap a little bit. Maybe I'll do that a little bit higher. There we go. Does that sound good? So we got that shape right there because we're gonna do, if we do another one right on the inside of that, you'll see what I'm doing. So there we go, we got the legs of our chimp there. All right, now let's draw their arm, but maybe we'll draw the joint first. So inside of our arm, we have a shoulder right here where it connects our body to our arm. And there's like a little ball in there that rotates so we can move our arm around. So sometimes it's nice if we can draw that just so we know where that part is when we're drawing it. So we're gonna draw a little circle there. You could even draw a little circle over here if you want to kind of see where the shoulders are of our chimpanzee. So then I'm gonna go straight down from here. I'm gonna go on the either side of here. Maybe it's a little big. I'm gonna have to make it a little smaller. But I'm going to draw a line straight down and another one right down here. There we go. Try to keep it the same thickness maybe there as the legs for the arm there. And then we'll draw another one going straight up. Is that too far? Yeah, that's too far over. We'll fix that. That's why we're sketching. So let's do, should go right on the end of that. I had it right the first time. So let's draw a straight line up on that end, and then I'm going to have that go down probably the same thickness as the other arm right about there. So now you can kind of see that it's hanging around up here. Chimpanzees are really cool because they can hang around, they can walk on all fours, they can also stand up and walk just on 2 feet. They're pretty cool, and they're really strong. They're really strong animals. Okay, so we got the main body, I feel like. So of course we need to add the hands and the feet, but because they're very human-like, they can be a little bit difficult, a little bit more details required. So we'll do that in a second. But we're gonna go right on to maybe the face of our chimpanzee to make sure it looks like a chimp. Okay, so let's do right over here. We're gonna draw a circle for the mouth of our chimp right here. Draw a little circle, because their mouth comes out a bit. Unlike humans, where ours is flat, theirs comes out a little bit. I keep relating them to humans because they're very closely related to humans. In fact, they're closer related to humans than they are actually gorillas. Isn't that crazy? They're that closely related to us, so they do have a lot of similarities. Then I'm going to draw a smiley face on there because this is a very happy chimpanzee. I'm going to draw the little nostrils here. That's the holes there in your nose. And we'll draw a little line there because they got a little line. And then we're going to draw, let's do 2 more circles. We're going to do really lightly right here. We're going to do overlapping circles right here. And we're going to have them be very, very light. So let me do this. I'm going to draw another one right here. Just draw them very lightly. Now what that'll be is the little part that's not covered in hair on their face. So I'll kind of go back. That just helps me to draw that shape that I need. So now inside there, I'm going to draw 2 circles for the eyes. I'll erase that middle part pretty quickly because it'll get in my way. So we got the eyeballs, and we'll have them maybe looking over to the side. Right over there. Maybe instead of having it just go straight down to the bottom of the chin, we'll kind of cut it shorter. So just maybe I'll erase a little bit off the bottom of their face, and I'll make it kind of hairy. So I'll just kind of go like this. Like little watery patterns, like little waves. All right, and then maybe on the head, we'll give a little bit of hair too. 2 little pieces of little hair sticking out. You can do whatever you want. All right, so now that I got kind of the furry face, we can keep playing with that, but let's add the ears because it looks kind of funny without the ears. They have the really big, predominant ears that we want to put on here. So let's exaggerate them a little bit and do some really big chimp ears right here. We like to exaggerate certain parts of the animal because it makes it easier to recognize what it is. And they do have big fun ears and they're fun to draw. So we'll do that. Let's give them the big ears. Now we could start erasing a few little details because we're not going to need like that part right there and that circle for the joint. We just need to make sure that they connect. All right, so for the feet, we're going to kind of go down. So their hair kind of stops at their feet, and you see their kind of feet are a little bit more bald there. So I'm going to kind of do a little, what is that, little wave pattern again, and make sure that I cut it off there for their feet. Now, it's not exactly what they look like, but it'll be our little creative liberty that we're taking. All right, so now we got to do, their feet are a little bit different than ours. They don't look straight like ours because they don't walk like us typically. They can stand up on 2 feet, but they still walk a little different because that's all we do. So our feet are made for walking on 2 feet instead of 4. So they have slightly different feet. They have feet that are really good at hanging just like their hands, so they can kind of swing around and grab things with their feet just as well as their hands, which would actually be kind of nice sometimes if we had that too. And then we'll just draw 3 little toes like this. Like 1, 2, 3. Now they have 5, but we're just going to do this for the sake of our drawing, make it a little easier. And then we'll draw another one. It's the equivalent to like our thumb. It's just like our thumb on our hands. They have one on their feet. And it goes right about there. And then we'll just go keep finishing it off and just curve it off for the heel of their foot. Just like on the bottom of your foot, it gets rounded. That's what we're going to draw right there. So that's what the little foot looks like. So now we'll draw another one over here. And maybe that foot's a little big, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. And I draw another line. And then we'll draw like their thumb. And then we'll go back and roll it back to the heel. Now feel free to do whatever you want with your chimpanzee's pose here. They can have their feet way up here. They can be eating something. They can be scratching their head. Whatever you want. Maybe they're making a really funny face. Feel free to make sure that this becomes yours. This is just one way to draw a chimpanzee. So let's do the same thing we did with the feet. We're going to do a little shoop, shoop, shoop. We're going to do that for the hands. And let's draw a line straight down. They got kind of longer fingers. So we'll go straight down. And then we'll just like a backwards L. We'll draw another line right here. And then we'll do kind of like what we did on the toes. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then let's draw a line right here. So let's do like a C shape right here. And then we'll draw a thumb right there. So we're drawing their fingers all curled like that because they do hold them a lot like that, but especially when they're on all 4s and they're walking on their hands and their feet, they'll walk on their knuckles, which is kind of funny. We wouldn't necessarily do that, but they'll walk on their knuckles. And then up at the top, let's draw a branch. So we'll just kind of do any shape of branch you want to do that they're going to be hanging from. Doesn't have to be very difficult. I'm going to do it this shape. where it kind of forks off over here. And I'm going to have it go like this. And then maybe a other little piece right there. And then on the top here, we'll just draw 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. And maybe a little circle, half a circle right there, like a little arc. Just to show that it's holding on to the other side of the tree. What else do we need to do? Maybe we'll draw a little bald spot for their belly, because sometimes they have a little bit balder here. They have more hair on the rest of their body than it doesn't have as much on their chest and like their hands. So we'll just draw this little shape right here to kind of show that it's a little bit bald. So just kind of copy the shape of that main oval. Just don't draw into the face. And then if you want to add a few more little details, you can start adding in little leaves over here. I might add in a few leaves just to make it more interesting so I can bring in some colors. Now you can do more branches, or I don't know, whatever you want. Maybe we'll draw another chimpanzee in here. This is where you just get to have fun now. So I'm just going to draw a few little ones right there so you can tell that it's in a tree. All right, so I think I'm in a good enough spot that I can proceed with my outline. All right, let's start with our chimp's head. The iconic chimp head. Okay. Do the little hair up there. Come around. Now I might make this a little bit lower. There we go. And there's a circle for the mouth. Let's draw our little smiley face. We're going to draw ours happy because a lot of chimps, did you know that when they get happy, when they're really happy, they'll smile, they'll even laugh, or when they're tickled, they'll laugh? Just like us. Then we'll draw the little nostrils right there. All right, let's draw this part right here. So just like the outline of our circles that we drew that were overlapping, this is how I'm going to fill that in right there, just like that. So that's just a little part of their face that's not covered in hair. That's how we're drawing it separate. And then we'll draw the eyeballs. And there we go. We'll draw another one right here. And let's draw those big pupils. Oh, I want to make it a little bit bigger, but I always kind of start smaller because I can always add more marker, but I can't take away the marker. So I like to start smaller. And then I'll add more if I need to. There we go. Looking pretty happy. I'd say he's looking at a banana, which he'd probably like to eat, but they also like to eat other things too. They're omnivores, which means they eat meat and vegetables and plants. So they don't have to just eat fruit and vegetables. They'll actually eat meat too. They actually eat a lot of different types of food. A lot of different types of food. I think it's funny that we only think that they like bananas, but they're not that picky. It's also why they can live in lots of different areas, because they're not that picky with their food. But the only wild chimpanzees that we have left in the world will all live in Africa. It's kind of sad we don't have a lot of wild chimpanzees left. We do have a lot in zoos, and you see them a lot in movies, and people own them as pets, but it's kind of sad that there's not very many of them left in the wild living on their own. Are the hand right there? But they're such cool, intelligent, emotion-filled animals, and we're so closely related, it's hard to think of people treating them poorly when they have so much emotion. Like we talked about them laughing, but they also feel emotion around things that happen to their family members. It's important that we treat all animals nicely, not just chimpanzees. I think it's important because we're talking about them now, but we need to be nice to all animals. There we go. Starting to come together. Now we'll work on that foot back here. Now you might be wondering, why aren't we drawing a tail? Why aren't we drawing a tail on our chimpanzee? Because they don't have tails. And it's actually a big distinguishing factor between apes and monkeys. Monkeys have tails, apes do not. So a lot of times we'll draw chimpanzees. You'll see pictures of chimpanzees and they call them monkeys, but then they give them tails and you're very confused because they don't have tails. All right, I'm going to draw the tree right here. My hand's in the way, so I'll try to get out of the way to draw this. There we go. Normally I'd move my sheet of paper around to make it easier to draw, but I also want you to be able to see what I'm drawing and not have me flipping the page around. So if you need to move your sheet of paper around to make it easier to draw, you go ahead and do that. You don't have to do what I'm doing. So now I'm going to add these little leaves right here. You can add whatever you want. There we go. Another really cool thing about chimpanzees is that they're really, really smart. You know, we already said that they're really smart, but they're one of the few animals that use tools. And that shows a lot of intelligence in an animal when they can craft and make tools, and use tools, I should say, to get food. They do lots of different things to do things that they need to get done, and they'll use tools to do it, which I think is really impressive. All right, I think our chimpanzee is finished. Now all I have left to do is to go and erase all of the sketch marks underneath, and then I'm going to go ahead and bust out my markers and start coloring. So if you have watercolors or crayons or something else other than markers, that's totally fine. Just get coloring and we'll meet up right after I'm done. Sound good? All right, let's get coloring. And I think our little chimpanzee friend is finished. I love how it turned out. Hopefully you loved how yours turned out too, and that you named yours. What is the name of your chimpanzee? I thought of Gilbert. Gilbert the ape. Does that sound like a good name? Good. I think it fits him quite nicely. Well, I hope you guys had a blast making yours. I know I sure did. And because I'm proud of what I made, what do I need to do? That's right, I need to sign my name on my artwork. So I'm gonna go down here and write my initials, BW, and I can call my piece of art finished. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking around and drawing with me today. This has been a whole lot of fun. Share with me what you made. I'd love to see it. So just have your parents share it on, either email us or they can go on Instagram and just tag us at Brave Kids Art Club, or use the hashtag Brave Kids Art Club. That way I get a chance to see it. So thanks so much, and remember, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time.